research would then lead into kind of more innovation in that regards.
Right.
So, that's, I suppose, and on top of what Tony and Jim said,
Okay. All right. Okay. My next question then is about, I'm sure you've looked at a number of strategies, within your roles. What do you think makes a strategy a good one? What does a good strategy look like? Your thoughts?
Wow.
And not a research strategy or a good strategy in general.
And normally, it's not so much from my current role with rugby league, but just in general in business and that, a good strategy always seems to be one that's pretty easy to articulate. Once you start getting into complex things that are kind of hard to make sense, sometimes in reality they actually don't really make any sense. It can be just as simple as that. It's kind of like akin to a fresh set of eyes on something, or a kid sees the problem that you have and they say, well, why don't you just do that and that? It's the strategies. I think to form a strategy, or the reason for having any effort in it, is that you need to listen and really hear what's rather than just the loud voices, is to try and encourage all voices, whether you're trying to sell a product or trying to spread a type of sport. It's the same thing. You really need to know what people are thinking and what's hurting them or what's standing in the way or whatever, and then allow that build your strategy, because you have a strategy to address something that's real, and thus being real, it's easy to articulate.
Okay, thanks, Jim. That's useful. Yeah.
Of course, research is forms. That's the way to find out all the voices, of course.
I would think a strategy, kind of to piggyback on what Jim was saying, is, you have to have a very clear objective as to what you're trying to achieve. And then, I suppose a simple a pathway to that solution, to what you're trying to achieve. I'm not saying it has to be completely simplistic, but yeah, I mean, more times than not, as Jim said, people will add more layers than there ever need to be on that pathway. And when you add too many layers, you'll ultimately lose sight of what you're trying to achieve. So, I would say, be concise and make that so people can stick on, for all us, if we're saying, look, we want to achieve having our national teams be able to play again in world championships, if we set out the clear goals for which we think we can achieve that people won't misconstrue it or stray away from that, then that's, to me, what would be the best.
Can I add, and it's here again, following on from the previous comments. Here again, good strategy. I find that you have to have timelines and deadlines. More timelines than deadlines. I'm always a bit weary. I mean, deadlines is a great word, and yeah, you should have them in there. But I'm more concerned with deadlines ongoing. Also, responsibilities. You've got to tag responsibilities onto people for specific parts of your strategy. Okay.
And have you ever picked up a strategy and gone, gosh, that's a really bad strategy? What is it? Is there specific things that make a strategy a bad one?
Yeah, 3 pages of waffle. Yeah. I mean, many times you've seen a strategy and you're reading through it and you finish it off and you've got to start again and say, what is it all about? What are we trying to get at? Where are we going with this? Yeah. I've had a few of those. Yeah.
Yeah. Again, if it's not easy to articulate, there's probably something wrong. I go back to some experience of, arriving into firms that are, in crisis